So good morning. As part of my day this morning, I think I had mentioned to you about all of this wonderful comfrey over here, which botanical name is Phyllum officinalis, and how I was going to be digging this up because we have all of our garlic under here, and I can even smell it while I'm standing here. I can smell the garlic, and it looks like everything, all the foliage on the garlic has died back, which is an indicator that it is ready. And I don't want to dig this up right now because I have a little bumblebee friend that is enjoying it, so I'll work on some of the other that's around it. There's quite a bit, but I just wanted to share with you about this plant this morning because this is probably one of my favorite plants for the food forest, and it's one of the first plants that I kind of got really close with it, and it's got so many, it's so multifaceted, but it's considered a very, very ancient plant, something that's been on the planet for a very, very long time, and in many cases it's even referred to as a plant of Eden. Wow, we have a couple of little bumblebees here. But let's just talk about this plant a little bit. I'd actually use this in the food forest, and I do a lot of what's called chop and dropping. Where when you pull up plants or weeds, you just leave them in their place, where you pull them and you let them decompose and let them go back into the soil for nutrient purposes. And comfrey is even cooler in the fact that what I do is I take a lot of the comfrey and I plant it around the base of our fruit trees because it has a nice taproot and it pulls the nutrients up out of the soil and helps to feed the plants. And you can see we've got bunches of it throughout here. And these are all plants that I chopped and dropped from other plants and moved into this area, but it's very prolific that way. So what I'm doing this morning is I'm taking some of those plants from that original area that I mentioned to you, and I'm planting them here in this area near our original orchard. We have some extra open space. I'm going to put some around this currant right here as well, and I've already done some right here. And typically what I'll do is dig a little trench, not very deep, and just lay the plant in there and cover it up. You don't even really have to do that because you can literally take the chopped leaves and just put them in a certain area. They'll decompose and they will come up as plants, which is just so cool, and I like that about this plant. So as you see, I have some around this pawpaw, and maybe that's why we have so many pawpaws on this small pawpaw tree. We have some around the persimmon here, and some up there around the pomegranate tree. Again, this was all where I did some chop and dropping and put these plants in. And then, of course, as we saw with the bumblebee, they produce this nice, beautiful purple flower that the bees just love. And that one that's back there behind the apiary, I'll probably leave part of it because they really like utilizing that plant. But I'll dig some of the thicker pieces up and put them over here in this area. But you see, I've also done some in here. And I'll just leave this and I'll let it come up just like it has in this area. So it's wonderful food and medicine as well. I make a lot of teas and tinctures with comfrey in it. You know, it's just one of those really good maintenance medicinal herbs. I cook with it. So it's really got some wonderful multi-use. It keeps my system nice and clear and clean. And it's just one of those really good all-around plants to have in your forest and just in your garden in general, because it not only acts as a soil amendment and you know, protects your plants, protects the base of your trees and your plants, but you also get a chance to have that, get that wonderful combination of food and medicine. So that's kind of one of those things that you want to, in your food forest, strive towards, having those plants that are multi-use, multi-function. And what you'll find in the food forest, most of your plants that you're putting in, they have that multi-use food and medicine, and they're in some way adding back into things. So I just wanted to share that this morning. This is what I'm doing as I'm getting myself going. I realized again today, this morning when I woke up, I was one day ahead of myself. I was thinking it was Friday, which is a good thing, because I thought I only had so much time for certain things, and I realized I was ahead. Been working this week on trying to get my course set up and ready to go for the summer semester that's starting next week at Prescott, and I'm excited about that. That's all ready to go. Just have some last minute little tweaking and reviewing, and I'm looking forward to getting out here this Saturday and doing some work here in the garden, because we have things, the rain has just yeah, I'm so happy with the way things are growing, but the rain has just really magnified the growth. So it's going to be fun working out here this Saturday. So again, if you want to come and join in and lend a hand, no matter how long it is, hour, 2 hours or so, there's plenty to do. We want to plant in this one bed up here. We've got lots and lots of trimming and thinning and things that need to be done, especially in the front garden. We have some debris that needs to be burned. I noticed there's a tree up front that kind of came up out of the ground, so I'm going to be cutting that up. It's kind of a little bit laying across the entrance of the coming into the front, so I'll probably do that today, so it's not an inhibitor in any way for folks coming in. But yeah, come and join us. Bring a packed lunch or something to share. Kind of come and hang out. I'm not sure what the weather's supposed to be like, but unless we have torrential downpour and windy storms, we'll still be working, right? A little bit of rain is good for folks. So, and if you're not sure, you know, just message me. Oh, I just noticed that our cardoons are starting to grow a little bit. That's very cool. They're going to get really big, and they love this heat and humidity. Our onions are coming up here. Our beans may have gotten dug up. We'll have to check on those. But yeah, I'm just feeling, everything out here is feeling really happy. It's nice. I can just feel the air. I can smell all the The bees are fanning in their hives. They're happy because they're out. And it's interesting because they've come out during the storm, even if it's like raining a little bit, they come out of their box and do whatever they're going to do in between this whole storm area. So they've not missed a beat. And I'm actually due to go in here and check their boxes a little bit from the last time that I did some extracting from their hive. So I'll probably do that on Sunday. But I'm starting to feel into working with them more and more, and one of the things that I'm feeling and I'm realizing is I don't need to go into their hives as much as always is prescribed. It's it's not only disruptive for them, but they actually do quite a bit on their own. And if they're left to their own devices, they can keep the hive pretty healthy. And a lot of times when I'm going in now, I'm checking to make sure there's no things like signs of beetles, hive beetles running around there, which these hives are very strong. So whatever has been there, they've been able to take care of it. And if I see something, I'll generally put like a Swiffer in there, because that draws the hive beetles to them. I look for things like signs of wax moths in there, or signs of, mites being on their bodies, or, irregular patterns, any other things that may have made their way in there. But, if I'm seeing that they're like building out a lot of cone and they've got really good brood patterns, and, they're not irritated and healthy, and they're very healthy now, like something's not in there bothering them, I'm gonna get in there and get out, and I'll generally check a couple of frames in each of the boxes, just so I can clean the cone up, when they're building out the cone on top of the frames, just to keep their hives nice and neat inside. But yeah, they pretty much do their own thing. And I think our apiary has gotten, again, the hives have gotten strong enough, and they're starting to get mature enough that they're kind of on their own time. So whenever I do an inspection, I go into every hive. We've got 10 of them now, but I go into every hive and I at least check for all those things that were mentioned. So I'll check them out, probably on Sunday, and probably sometime in July we'll harvest honey again. Most likely maybe end of July, early August. And then I'm not going to mess with them. I'm not going to go in there and mess with their honey probably anymore. A lot of that, there's a lot in there. And they have it for stores and things. And I possibly might harvest one more time after that, but I'm thinking I'll probably do one more harvest for the year, and then the rest is just kind of getting them prepared to go into the fall month time frames. They have plenty of honey for stores, so that I don't need to be supplementing them with things like sugar water, and our honey's just really thick and just very, very tasty. I've given some to a couple of friends and family already that I promised that I would do that with, and I'm going to see if I can get them to talk about it a little bit as well. So that's what's going on out here today. Me and my puppy are chilling. See her sitting over there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of having a little bit of a break on Saturday to come out here and do some things. Because I've been working pretty hard on my research as well as getting prepared for this course. That will be my first time teaching at Prescott. So yeah, so that's what's happening today. And I hope you all are having a good Thursday. And we'll talk to you soon.